And
we are live.
We are theoretically live. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, depending on where you're listening from or watching from. We are Dan and Faith, and we are joined this month by John Ferullo in Concord, Massachusetts. We are in Charlestown, New Hampshire, by the way. Westford? John,
Westford,
where do you
yeah.
live? Westford, okay.
Same thing. It's close
yeah,
by.
same neighborhood.
One of those places.
Yeah.
And Shanna in address. Shanna's out in Boulder, Colorado. So that's one of the very cool things about doing this online is that we can bring people in from anywhere. They've got internet connectivity. So we are tickled pink to have Shanna with us this afternoon or evening. Probably afternoon where you are. So,
so we will kick it off with our first song.
Yep.
And I'll drop everybody else off the screen.
And
there they go.
We figured we would start the evening with a dulcimer song. This is my Appalachian Mountain dulcimer, one of two that I have. And this one came from a little shop in Berea, Kentucky.
We were down there on tour last October.
Back in another lifetime.
Yeah. When it was possible to be all over the place.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah. Each of us is damaged, each of us is flawed. We do our best, try to be exactly who we are. Acceptance is believing in where we are today. Love is the answer, love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Welcoming newborn twins on their first day. Pleasure and pain will come along the way. The future is theirs. Give them time to play. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Young lovers out for a stroll on a starry night. A gentle hug or smile, a laugh of delight. Working together, their dreams take to flight. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Holding a hand as gentle eyes grow dim, a gentle smile when the world just seems so grim. A good life is ending, another soon begins. Love is the answer, love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer, no matter the question. Open your heart to the universal song. Love is the answer to any question. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Love is the answer. Love is the song. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Good start.
Thanks. That one hasn't made it on an album yet.
It was actually going to be the theme for the previous the
most
album we
recent
just
album.
came out with, but we couldn't get it to sound right in the recording, so we decided we would pull it and try again. But
It'll go on the next album.
one of these days.
You need a choir for the chorus. Get
Well,
everybody
yeah.
Oh
going.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We've done that.
Yeah, you've done it.
We did that on the Seeking album. We have a gospel a cappella at the end. We have a gospel choir. That was really fun to do.
It was.
Yeah.
All right, take it away, John.
All right. I thought since we were doing this, I would start out with one of the song challenges from one of the last times I did this with you guys. It's called Winds of Change. And I'm so excited about the news last night, and I'm hoping that it truly is a wind of change for the fall. Fallen leaves blowing by my window, covering up my green grass. Fallen leaves, nobody wants them, 'cause it just means snow's coming fast. The wind blows from the north, get your coat. Time to stack the wood, pull out the boat. Fallen leaves, the weather's changing. Set your gloves and say a prayer. Fallen leaves, bare trees and bushes. Summer's gone, you're still here. The wind blows from the north, get your coat. Time to stack the wood, pull out the boat. Winds of change are in the forecast, 'cause nothing stays the same always. Winds of change, no one will warn you to watch out for winds of change. Winds of change, no one will warn you to watch out for winds of change. Thank you.
Yeah.
As ever, we had some great harmonies for you, but
Yeah.
I know.
produce them this way.
I was hearing them in my head.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Shanna, we've done a bunch of shows with John over the years,
And we know
it's
a lot of
always
his
fun
stuff.
to jump in on his
Yeah.
stuff. So we love jumping in on songs we don't know too.
I was singing along too.
Yeah,
Beautiful song, John.
Thanks.
it is. All right, Shanna.
All right. This song is on my mind today because I just lost a friend who was a quadriplegic, and I've been helping out people with spinal cord injuries for the last few years. And a woman named Shelly was my intro into this world. And I want to play you guys the song I wrote for Shelly. So here you go. I just released this on my YouTube channel today with a cello. So unfortunately, I don't have the cello with me today, but thanks for having me. Oh no. All right. Supposedly it's in tune. Mascara lashes, get every last bit out of the tube. Blow her hair dry, it's so thick it takes forever to do. Fasten her wrist braces, medications on her tongue. Living in a chair makes morning care extra long. And I'd ask her, are you ready? Are you ready to go? Are you ready, Shelly? Are you ready to go? And she says, look down at your fingers. There's something I want you to remember. You got one to catch a ride to San Francisco, one to point when you're dancing the disco, one to lift when you get cut off, and one reserved for the one you love, and one to reach the tiniest notes on guitar. She say, I can't use my fingers anymore, but thank you for lending me yours. I arrive and Shelly has a cold. I push her stomach down to help her cough. In the middle of the night when she gets warm, I tiptoe into her room, pull her blanket off. She'd say an unscratched itch is worse than pain. Try it yourself, see what you think. Shelly had a really itchy nose. And I look down at my fingers and do my best to remember. I got one to catch a ride to San Francisco, one to point when I'm dancing the disco, one to lift when I get cut off, and one reserved for the one I love, and one to reach the tiniest notes on guitar. She told me I can't use my fingers anymore, but thank you for lending me yours. Last night I got a call, 12 a.m. I learned that Shelly's on the other side, dancing, running her fingers through the sand. Oh, I've had a lot of jobs, but the one that changed me most was being Shelly's hands. She was ready to go.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great story.
Yeah. And figured this might be a reasonable one to follow that with in memory of all of the folks that we've lost in our lives, near and far. Her name was Melody, that's all they told to me when I first asked about her picture. The story of her end was a lot to comprehend. This mystery girl who would have been my sister. So many others loved her, she's a stranger to me. Though I witnessed their pain, to me she'll always be just a picture on the wall. And then there's Rachel, she's my mom. She was practical and calm and healthy as a horse until the end. It broke my heart the day I was told she'd passed away. A world without her I could not comprehend. Her death rocked my foundation, shook me to the core. Though I'm no longer ever with me, to me she's so much more than just a picture on the wall. Why do we keep pictures after someone's gone? Why do we need to connect when they depart? I find myself looking at each portrait eye to eye. It helps me keep them in my heart. Their names are Richard, Jake, and Jerry, Terrence, Bill, and Terry. I watch their online postings go by. When they pass beyond this plane, the Facebook friendships remain. I cannot bring myself to break this tie. It's so hard to believe that each of them is gone. But when they show up on my screen, the memories carry on through their pictures on my wall. I love these pictures on my wall.
We started touring far and wide about 5 years ago after losing many of the people named in the last verse all in 1 year.
Yep.
We decided to buy a van and get on the road,
Get on the road
and not
and
wait.
Go out and enjoy life.
Good.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, COVID-19 has kept us from doing too much of that since we got back from the Lazy Blast trip. But
Pretty much go out and look at the van.
We've taken it on a few short trips, and we take it
we
shopping.
take it shopping.
And we take it out to dinner. We
Yeah.
drive to a restaurant, get takeout, and sit in our van and eat.
Eat it at the table in the van. We got a bathroom for washing our hands. It's awesome. So,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
That's how it works today.
All right, John.
John.
What's that?
So, I'll play you this song then, because it's in the same vein as that last song. I wrote this after our friend Rob died a little while ago, and it's kind of dedicated to Rob and Jake and Jerry and Marcel and Bill and the whole list of people we've known. It's called The Ghost on the Sidewalk. The player stands upon the stage, plays his tune, turns the page. Every night's a golden age to sit and listen and to stay. He takes his time to tune it up, puts his capo on the fret, sets his music on the stand, and one guitar, that's the whole band. There's a singer in the wind that you'll never hear again. When the last clean note fades, All that's left's an empty stage. An empty sidewalk, an empty door, where someone once played tunes before, for nickels, dimes, and nothing more. The ghost of someone by the store. His guitar case was open wide to show the emptiness inside. A heart with no place it could hide was on display for passers-by. There's a singer in the wind that you'll never see again. When the last clean note fades, all that's left's an empty stage. You never know when the last song comes. Is there an encore and a chorus fades? The player stood upon the stage, played his tune, turned the page. Every night was a golden age to sit and listen or to play. There's a singer in the wind that you'll never hear again. The last clean note fades, all that's left's an empty stage. Thank you.
So you had ghosts on the sidewalk?
I did.
I
I'm
was
not
trying
sure
to
there was
remember
another
if you were with
prompt
us
from
for
you
that.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was from one of these shows. So
Yeah.
You guys are inspirational.
We consider ourselves the godmother and godfather of many songs out there right now. So it's awesome.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shanna.
All right. Well, that was beautiful, John. I'm gonna change up our tone here to something less beautiful. This is a song I submitted to the NPR Tiny Desk contest 1 minute too late, so I actually didn't submit it officially at all. But I wrote it at the beginning of quarantine as an idea that I thought, what if instead of an online dating profile, if people just told you everything you needed to know in a song? So I used myself as the guinea pig, and this is called Wanna Go Out. First date, oh, you have a nice face. It's small talk over coffee. We go over the basics, a bunch of little facts that really don't matter. I'll start with my family and end with the data. I have two older brothers, one's in tech, one's a chiropractor. My family's from Buffalo, but that's not where I grew up. Went to school at UVA, wahoo, got my BA. That was an expensive way to make good friends. I'm a 7 on the Enneagram. I have a 67.5-inch wingspan. My birthday is 2/19. I'm on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces, but neither match much. Play 5 instruments, but only one of them well. I'm a size 10 shoe, and I never tell my middle name. I have 2 eyes and 1 persistent cough, and 10 toes only 'cause they cut the 11th one off. Do you wanna go out with me? Do you wanna go out with me? I play a mean horse on the basketball court, and walking with the dog is my favorite sport. I do cat and cow and yoga if it makes me sweat, and I go down rabbit holes on the internet. By now you know what I look like when I'm not dressed fancy, that I don't like to drink unless it tastes like candy, and I could be a vegetarian if it weren't for chicken wings, and I put Frank's Red Hot on everything. I get freaked out by people touching their eyes. I'm a realistic romantic who loves surprises. I'm obsessed with Taylor Swift. Someday we'll co-write a song. She doesn't know I exist. Maybe pass this one along. Do you wanna go out with me? Do you wanna set it straight. It's like the 28th date. By now you know my clock runs 10 minutes late, and I burn what I cook, and I never make the bed. But if you're still listening, maybe I haven't scared you yet. I twist, break my hair, it drives people crazy. I'm messy and I'm the best at procrastinating. Do my half of the chores less than a quarter of the time, but I'll forgive your weaknesses if you overlook mine. I can be immature, but it's not always bad. I'll get you to laugh and flash you when you're sad. Got a good brain on my shoulders, a good heart in my chest. If you can stimulate those, I'll let you stimulate the rest. Do you wanna go out with me? Do you wanna go out with me? What if this song was like COVID-19 and it spread across the nations and they'd all know me? And when they lifted the quarantine, I'd be overwhelmed with applications, need a committee to screen. So don't apply if you love 45. And if you're not into my music, this is never gonna jive. I think this could be a good way to save some time. If you like wacky songwriters, I could be your bride. Do you wanna go out with me? Do you wanna go out with me?
That's great.
That was fun. Yeah, I changed it up a little bit. I love it.
Wow.
And that would definitely change the world. So.
Our friend Tom Smith just chimed in on the chat saying that he kind of liked the concept of the songwriting profile thing. But Tom, who's on the chat, is a phenomenal songwriter.
Yeah.
I think he's on with us next week.
He's our midweek song swapper next
week.
Wednesday. So.
I think Tom also actually had 11 toes as well.
No.
Wouldn't know.
Dad? Is that you?
So we are now at the third round. And the third round is a round in which we each, and it is each, Dan and I are both going to do a separate song. Each do a song that was written for the occasion of the evening based on a song prompt that came from last time's audience. I would say last month, but it was actually June. And the theme was change. And so you're about to hear 4 probably very different songs on the theme of change. Dan will go first, and then I'll go second, and then we'll get back into the normal rotation.
And I have not heard Faith's, and she has not heard mine.
That's right.
So.
Oh, and while we're doing this round, normally if we were at Serendipity Cafe, we would be handing out little slips of paper to all of y'all in the audience right now, asking you to write down a word or a phrase. Well, it's kind of hard to do that over the internet, so what we'd like you to do is if you go into the chat for
whichever service you're on,
whatever
wherever
service
you're
you're on,
seeing this.
wherever you're seeing this, we will see it. And if you could just put prompt : and your idea, we will collect these, and we will go through some pseudoscientific method of choosing.
Some sort of random something.
And last time we ended up with 3 ideas, and we dropped a note off to a friend saying, give us a number between 1 and 3. She chose 3. It was change. So we might do something similar. We don't know. So yeah, please do. And so first up we have Dan with his change song.
All right. So recent passing of John Lewis was the inspiration for this. He wrote a piece that was in the New York Times. It was published the day of his funeral. Some of his words are in this. Walk with the wind, John Lewis said. Walk where others fear to tread. Change is coming day by day. Find good trouble. Walk with the wind. Follow your heart. Stand up for your beliefs. Fear is a prison until you start to speak. It's time for us to march and have our say. Love in our hearts, leading the way. Walk with the wind, John Lewis said. Walk where others fear to tread. Change is coming day by day. Find good trouble, walk with the wind. Hate has no place, no matter the price. Stand and be counted, though there be sacrifice. In the darkest hours of the longest night, raise your voice, march to the light. Walk to the wind, John Lewis said. Walk where others fear to tread. Change is coming day by day. Find good trouble, walk with the wind. Now he's marching with Martin and Gandhi too, with all of the heroes that showed us the truth. They all got in trouble, good trouble I'm sure. The train of change is coming, climb on board. In the city and the country, young and old are rising, black and white and brown joining hands. Raising our voices, we start to sing. Bells chime, freedom rings. Walk with the wind, John Lewis said. Walk where others fear to tread. Change is coming day by day. Find good trouble, walk with the wind. Walk with the wind, John Lewis said. Walk where others fear to tread. Change is coming day by day. Find good trouble, walk with the wind. Find good trouble, walk with the wind.
Yeah. Very cool.
Bring everybody back in for a sec.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice work, Dan. That's a keeper.
I found a typo in the middle of the chart. Where I had fixed something in every verse except the first one.
No,
I
no.
was like, oh, it was close.
Yeah.
But
And it's interesting because I started out thinking about John Lewis and I was actually Googling for John Lewis and change to see if he said anything about change, because I was going to see if maybe I could go that way, and I did find a couple of quotes, but I couldn't bend them into a song. So then I went and I looked at Martin Luther King's Letter from a Birmingham Jail, which, by the way, if you have not read Letter from a Birmingham Jail, Google it, read it. Damn, that is the most amazing piece of writing, and everybody in America should read that letter. It's long. He apologizes for it being long. And by the way, one of the things that he speaks out against in there is the moderate whites who would much rather have they stand by change, but they don't want it to be messy. So it's well worth reading it, especially all us moderate whites. We should read this. So then I did the next thing that I tend to do, which, thank you, Sloan Wainwright, is just sit down and start writing and see what comes out. So I did that. And when I did that, one phrase kept popping up. And so this is called Something's Gotta Change. Tamarice playing with a toy gun in the park. Speak out, say his name. Officers arrive, shot him 2 seconds later. Something's gotta change. Eric Garner selling loose cigarettes. Speak out, say his name. Police chokehold meant he couldn't breathe. Something's gotta change. Blacks have been asking for 400 years, begging, pleading, hoping. How many more black deaths will it take for white eyes to open? Stefan Clark on the phone at Grandma, speak out, say his name. Cop who shot him thought the phone was a gun, something's gotta change. Tatiana Jefferson gaming with her nephew, speak out, say her name. Shot through the window on an open door check, something's gotta change. Blacks have been asking for 400 years, begging, pleading, hoping. How many more black deaths will it take for white eyes to open? Breonna Taylor sound asleep in her own bed, speak out, say her name. Shot on a search warrant at the wrong address, something's gotta change. George Floyd's 20 appeared to be counterfeit, so speak out, say his name. George stopped breathing with a knee on his neck, something's gotta change. Blacks have been asking for 400 years, begging, pleading, hoping. How many more black deaths will it take for white eyes to open? Something's gotta change.
Yeah.
That worked.
Yeah.
That worked.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very true.
Gosh.
Let's see what you got, John.
Alrighty. This is kind of along the same lines as Faith's song, I guess. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I've had a real hard time being lighthearted in the last few years. So I haven't written any funny songs in quite a while. We all want to find a plan, want to do the best we can, make a point and take a stand, drive the darkness from our land. Rope is made of tiny strands, alone not one can take the load. Twist together in a lay, you will see what they can hold. We all want to find a plan, want to do the best we can, make a point, make a stand, drive the darkness from our land. Single particle of sand cannot stop a river's flow. Join together in a dam, where can the water go? We all want to find a plan, want to do the best we can, make a point and take a stand, drive the darkness from our land. Now it's time to make a change, grab your neighbors, grab your friends. Below the skin we're all the same, on each other to depend. We all want to find a plan, want to do the best we can, make a point, take a stand, drive the darkness from our land.
Yeah.
Sorry about the clipping on that one. Overdrove my thing a little.
Sounded reasonable over here, so yeah. And yeah, I'd say that's a keeper too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing how many songs come out of this wind up being keepers.
I know it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
And it's such a treat to get to hear you guys.
Well, we love doing in the rounds because it's like we play shows, we go out and tour, and we get to play and meet new people, and that's all great. But we never get to hear our friends play. So doing in the round shows is a way to just
Yeah.
I'll
It's
get
fun when
together
we
and
can
do
jump in together. too.
it's so much better in person because
Yeah.
I'll jump in a harmonica or
Oh yeah.
Faith will play bass
Yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever.
But Shanna, we had heard a couple of your songs at the
it was
Rom. It was
Rom,
Rom. Yeah. At the online open mic. It's like, ooh, I'd like to hear more. So very glad to be able to hear more.
Yeah.
So
So let's hear what you came up with for this one.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to be reading off a Google Doc for it, so I'm sorry if I have a scroll down moment. But I'd had this line that I wanted to write to for a long while, and the change prompt fit right in with it. And it was born out of the thought of how frustrating it is to encounter people with the opposite point of view as you, and how we can't really change them, but we can work on loving them. And that's what I tried to write this song to coach myself to do.
When I read words you write, my stomach starts to turn inside. We argue all over the page, thinking our scribbles are masterpieces that'll change you. But I'm printing your cursive, I'm rounding your square. What if we want the same things, just different ways to get there? 'Cause I get my water from a well, you get yours from a spring. Quenches both our thirst, but won't taste like the same thing. I get my water from the well, you get yours from a spring. Even one sip of the other don't change much of anything. And I'm no better, no smarter. That's taken time to understand that I would have your penmanship if I'd grown up with your hand. Oh, I believe what I believe, 'cause I read the words in front of me. And you believe what you do, 'cause your friends wouldn't lie to you. Oh, I'm years of practice, and you're an epiphany. I'm the doctor's scrawl, and you are calligraphy. I get my water from the well, you get yours from the spring. Quenches both our thirst, but won't taste like the same thing. I get my water from the well, you get yours from a spring. Even one sip of the other don't change much of anything. But I'm no better and no smarter. That's taken time to understand that I would have your penmanship if I'd grown up with your hand. I promise to listen, I'll taste what you share. And when I hear your anger, look for what you really care about. And I'll try to love you. I want you to feel heard. I get my water from the well, You get yours from a spring that quenches both our thirst, but sure don't taste like the same thing. I get my water from a well. You get yours from a spring. Even one sip or the other don't change much of anything. And I'm no better, no smarter. That's taking time to understand that I would have your penmanship if I'd grown up with your hand.
Sweet.
That's sweet.
I think we have 4 keepers.
I think so. This was a good time.
Very good
fun.
round.
And just, you know, and speaking of good prompts and good opportunities, we're seeing a bunch of good prompts going by in the comments. Please, again, you know, we can't pass out the little slips of paper to everybody in the audience, but
Keep
if
them
you
coming, and
keep posting those prompts in the comments, and we'll have lots to choose from for next time.
for Shanna and John, if you see one you like, you're not going to be on the show next month, but grab it.
Feel free to borrow any of these.
Yeah.
And actually any other songwriters that are watching along, feel free.
Absolutely.
That's the fun of it. When we're actually at the cafe, one of our traditions at the end of the evening, after everybody's packing up, and just before everybody leaves, we go through the basket, because normally we gather everything up, all the comments in a basket, draw out 3, and then have the audience vote on which of the 3 they want us to do for next month. But they've only heard 3 of the things that are in the basket, so we always at the end of the night go through and read out everything else that was in the basket.
Sometimes it's a really cool
Sometimes the ones that are in the basket are way better than the ones that came out.
But don't get it.
As John can attest to with Sisters of Schadenfreude.
That was a hard one.
That was tough.
That was a really hard one. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was like 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, and Wanda very enthusiastically voting for that one in the back of the room until we asked her to show up the next month, and she's like, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have been so enthusiastic."
She got the best song. So
Yeah. Anyway,
you have to look up Wanda Metcalf.
Wanda
sometime.
Metcalf. She's
She's yeah.
I
Unique.
anytime I get an opportunity to hear Wanda, I always put down what I'm doing and listen, because her mind works in mysterious ways. And I love what she writes, even though I don't necessarily understand it.
Nowhere we've ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
exactly. Not sure it's the same planet with the rest of us, but we love Wanda.
Well, let's start up the next round.
Yeah.
And we're going to shift gears a little bit. This is a song off of the new album. And I'll switch it so we're up and give the little backstory. And there's a little backstory afterward. All right. So, it was a year of turmoil in the country, riots in the streets, an election year. A war was raging, and the space race. The year was 1968. These were my earliest memories. Small town life, Berkshire Hills. The world outside my windowsill. A quiet life, young and carefree. Just school and books, afternoon TV. All that changed in 68. World got smaller, filled with hate. Shots rang out in Memphis town. Martin Luther King, dead on the ground. Heard my mother moan, my daddy weep. Me, I cried myself to sleep. Could there ever be peace again? The world outside came crashing in. Big signs on each front lawn. The battle lines were were clearly drawn. Shots rang out, West Coast Hotel. Bobby Kennedy was dead as well. The TV, it was black and white. Watched it from afternoon till night. Saturdays we'd watch cartoons, but there were body counts on the evening news. It was long ago, but like yesterday. Innocence was swept away. The images seared in my brain. A world of fear and pain. December 1968. Apollo 8 blasted into space. George Low sent him round the moon. Earthrise image filled the room. My parents cried, I did too. Finally, some happy news. A year of pain, a year of hate. Apollo 8 saved 68. It was Christmas Day, and a telegram from a stranger read, Apollo 8 saved 68. True stories. And a couple little tidbits that I like to talk about afterward. First off, George Low. George Low was with NASA from the late 1950s. It turns out, I'm reading this biography of him right now, and anybody who's an engineer needs to read this.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. It turns out the idea of going to the moon as a goal was his idea. And he had been floating that around, and when Kennedy needed something big after the Bay of Pigs disaster, somebody got wind of this, and it became Kennedy's thing. But Apollo 8 was supposed to be testing the lunar module in low Earth orbit. The lunar module was late. It was six months behind schedule. But the service module was actually doing pretty well after having a rough start. And George had actually floated the idea of having the team examine what would it take for 8 to go to the moon. They had super secret couple people working on this. And when the lunar module wasn't ready, they went to him and said, what do we do? And he said, let's send 8 to the moon. They didn't know if the rocket motor would relight to bring them back from lunar orbit or if they would be stuck there. He had to take that risk.
Wow.
There was a telegram that I talk about in the song received at NASA headquarters for Frank Borman that said, you saved 1968. They don't know who the person was who sent it.
Turns out there were hundreds of telegrams and letters
that all said
that coming into NASA the tail end of 1968 because it was such a horrible year. Yeah.
But that one image of the Earth rising above the moon was broadcast around the world. Our friend Mel Green said they didn't have TV in South Africa, but the radio announcer described the image, and that was enough.
And he, from the description, he could picture it in his mind, which I thought was very cool.
So, anyway, those are the couple little backstories from that song. But I was 6 years old, and those were my earliest memories.
That's so neat.
So, I didn't want to. You were talking about having something that you wanted to write to forever. I was for years wanting to write that, and we got a prompt of one's earliest memory, and then it's like, oh, I guess it's time.
Yeah.
And that came out.
Yep.
What a cool story and song.
All right, let's have
Thank you.
a round of.
I actually just bought that book, Dan, so I'm looking forward to reading it. I'll play an older song of mine that you guys know because it's lighthearted and it makes me happy. Sun is shining in my backyard. work all morning, I won't work that hard. The lake is calling and the birds fly by. The sun is shining on me. The cat in the window watches life flow by. Birds on the feeder don't even bother to fly. Take another sip of my lemonade. Think I'll move to the shade. My time means more than just getting old. My treasure's more than diamonds or gold. My kitty stretches and it bumps into me. I guess it's time for tea. The day is over, the night's coming on. I never got to cutting the lawn, but I saw a hawk and an osprey. Had a real good day. Had a real good day.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Love that
Love
one.
that one.
Always fun.
I love your playing, John.
Oh, thanks, Shanna.
If you could implant your hands on mine for the next songs I write,
I
I would.
wouldn't mind that
I have
either.
11 fingers.
I forgot. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Beautiful.
Take it away.
Okay. I think I'm going to play you guys this one. It's a song I wrote called Robot, about feeling really emotionally detached from things. And I think I have recently been so emotionally attached that it's kind of a funny place to put myself in the body of the girl who wrote this song, but thought I'd share it with you regardless. Uh-oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I blink, but I don't even think no more. On autopilot, my body walks around the world so mechanically. He died, she's born, he's married. I'm bored and I don't even shed a tear. I've become vacant and numb, programmed to what they all want to hear. What I would give to feel like you. What I would give to feel human. But I'm a robot waiting for somebody to move me. I'm a robot waiting for somebody to move me. I'm a robot waiting for somebody to move me. Somebody. Think I'm a robot. Uh-oh, cut me open. I'm fairly certain all you'll see is nuts and bolts and faulty wiring, emptiness crashing together in a hollow chest. Oh, I remember hearing once indifference is the opposite of love. And I remember feeling once, but the dream gets hazy as the days go on. What I would give to feel like you. What I would give to feel human.
robot waiting for somebody to move me. I'm a robot waiting for somebody to move me. Somebody, think I'm a robot. Oh, 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 what I would give to feel like you. What I would give to feel human. But I'm a robot waiting for somebody to move me. Somebody. I'm a robot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what did I do? Sorry about that.
Hit the wrong button. So,
Wow,
cool.
that's cool.
Thanks.
I was
He
playing
was playing
harp.
harmonica. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear it.
I know.
Yeah, well, you'll get to hear harp on this one.
Yeah. Speaking of songs that you look back now and think that was a different planet.
This was a while ago.
This was actually, God, it was 13 years ago. I can't believe that.
Yeah. Different
and
companies.
different companies, different world, different life. And John has actually played on this one before because I had him on stage in a band at one point. And
playing
bass.
upright
He was
stick.
playing upright stick. Yeah.
You still have the upright stick?
I do. It's right over yonder.
Cool.
You can't see it from here, but
One of these days we gotta get her one of those.
Yeah, that'd be
The double bass can't fit in the van, but
no.
oh
Well,
you
it can,
get-
but nothing else would.
Steinberg makes a nice one.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Yeah, we've been contemplating.
I want to get the cello. There's always room for cello, no matter how
Always.
big your van is.
On recordings, there's always room for cello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like favorite instrument to add. All right.
Yeah. So this one I wrote back when Dan learned to play harmonica. And it sounded really cool, just like that. And I thought, whoa, we gotta, I want to hear more of that. And the obvious way to hear more of that was to write a song where he had to play more of that. And since it was blues harmonica, it probably ought to be a blues song. I don't know anything about writing blues song, so this is what I ended up with. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Baby plays the blues harp. He learned the bluesy scale. So I wanna write a blues song so he can bend and wail. But I got the no blues blues. I do. I got the no blues blues. I got the no blues blues. Got no reason to be blue. Hard to write a blues song when you ain't got no blues. My baby, he's been faithful, ain't got no dog to lose. I got the no blues blues. It's so sad. I got the no blues blues. I got the no blues blues. Got no reason to be blue. House has just been fixed up. My car, it runs just fine. My baby feeds me good food. I even drink good wine. I got the no blues blues. It's true. I got the no blues blues. I got the no blues blues. Got no reason to be blue. Take it back. greatest. There might have been blues there. But in high tech, we all change jobs. We could change our underwear, and I'm back to the no blues blues. But a much better job. I still got the no blues blues. I got the no blues blues. Got no reason to be blue. Take it home. I got the no blues blues. Woo! I got the no blues blues. I got the no blues blues. Got no reason to be blue.
That's just fun.
It is.
That's fun.
And now Dan is going to polish off my water glass.
Already polished off mine. It takes a full water bottle or water glass to finish after playing harmonica.
Yeah.
So that's always a lot of fun. It's a good job.
That's fun to listen to. Ooh. You guys are waiting patiently. Tell you what, this is a song that's relatively new in the Tony Sincero Song Circle. Sign says eso. It's faded and red. Stood at the corner after buying chips and bread. Stared up at the worn brick wall, waiting for the snow to fall that left me cold and wet. Waited for the light to change, crossed while it was still green. I was the only one in town, not a soul around. Not a single sound except my boot slaps on the ground. Searching for the lost in time in a faded sign. I walk past the factory where work used to be. It's all boarded up and dark. There's a sign in the front window. I can't read it though, the lettering's long since gone. I hear a distant bell, maybe a muffled yell from somewhere down the road. Was someone I knew back a year or two, a story to be told. Searching for the lost in time in a faded sign. Friends have all moved away, they didn't care to stay in a town that's going away. Will I see them again? For the sojourn ends and not till Judgment Day. Searching for the lost in time in a faded sign. Thank you.
Nice.
So, John, you should give a little bit of the backstory on Tony.
Tony.
Okay. Some of you, I don't know who's listening, so probably already heard this, but when I make up a song, a lot of times I have a character, and I like to do a like a backstory of the character. And in this case, this character Tony ended up with like a 60,000 word backstory,
Which is available on Amazon.
which
It
you
is.
can buy on Amazon and give
The Embers.
Jeff Bezos money for his rockets. And so every now and then I pull pieces out of the story and I make up another song with them, and that's part of that. That's where that came from.
Nice.
But yeah, when I say that to people about the 60,000 word backstory, they kind of cringe a little bit in their seats because they think I'm going to tell them the whole thing.
It is definitely a fun read though, and some interesting characters in the book,
Yeah.
and some very familiar characters in the book, frankly, in the local songwriting scene in Metro West.
Yeah. So far, I haven't gotten sued, which means nobody's really read it.
Hey, the important people have read it.
We read it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, over to Shanna.
All right, you guys, I have a beautiful, like, red-orange sun coming in the window at me. So I'm not sunburnt. That is just the reflection of the sunset that you see in my face. But I was thinking this song might be a fun one to share with you. I'm about to play a virtual house concert, which means anyone's invited on August 23rd with this concert series called Little Tree. And I just happened to write a song, definitely about a tree, specifically a tree house. So that's what I'll play for you now. Come into the tree house, we have applesauce and popcorn that I popped myself. Come on in the tree house, there's no parents allowed, so I'll let you in, but nobody else. Come on, come on, come on in. Come on in the tree house. Come on, come on, come on in. Smell the pine, feel alive in our tree house. I put a tattoo of Batman on my shoulder. What would you want? Where would you get it? I mean, if we were older, we could plan a prank on neighbor Joe. He's always in our face. 1, 2, 3, war. We both flipped a 4. Hope I don't lose my last ace. And keep on hoping for good weather. We could stay here forever. Come on in the tree house, we have applesauce and popcorn that I popped myself. Come on in the tree house, there's no parents allowed, so I'll let you in, but nobody else. Come on, come on, come on in. Come on in the tree house. Come on, come on, come on in. Smell the pine, feel alive in our tree house. It gets chilly at dark, just thought I'd warn ya. Watch out for the juice box, I spilled one in that corner. And anything shared here stays between us. We can pee off the back, yeah man, that's genius. So bring out a jacket, we can stay out all night. Watch the sky for the blinking of the satellites. Come on in the tree house, we have applesauce and popcorn that I popped myself. Come on in the tree house, there's no parents allowed, so I'll let you in, but nobody else. Come on, come on, come on in. Come on in the tree house. Come on, come on, come on in. Smell the pine, feel alive in our tree house. It's been 15 tree rings since we told the leaves our secrets. I got a condo in the city. You got a daughter who's your biggest weakness. And men in hard hats drive machines into dad's work of art. A tear rolls down my face watching it fall apart. We had paradise together.
thought I'd stay there forever. Come on in the treehouse, we have applesauce and popcorn that I popped myself. Come on in the treehouse, there's no parents allowed, so I'll let you in but nobody else. Come on, come on, come on in. Come on in the treehouse. Come on, come on, come on in. Smell the pine, feel alive in our treehouse. In our treehouse.
Yeah. I love It's Been 15 Tree Rings. That is
That's great.
just
That was great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Ah,
So,
love it.
so we're going to do one more round to finish out the night. And thank you to everybody who's tuning in
Yeah,
and
a lot of familiar names going by,
and a bunch of folks we don't know, which is
yeah,
great.
which is
So
even better.
That's
Hi, Tom.
And we're also seeing a bunch of song prompts go by. When do we want to have people have them in by?
probably by the end of the week. 'Cause, some people will watch this afterward and they might
Yeah.
add them then. So we'll
So
give them a couple days.
Let's give them till like Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Let's do it
Something
that way.
like that.
And,
I'll collect
and,
them as I see them. But
yeah, and we'll collect them, and then at that point we can go through and do our pseudoscientific selection method and see what we come up with.
yeah.
So you have to send the good ones that don't get selected to me and Shanna.
Yeah. There's a couple that I saw go by were really awesome.
Yeah. So
I saw good ones too.
yeah.
And normally we don't see them like during the show, but it's kind of fun this way too.
Yeah,
So.
it's very different. But
Right.
so again, as I said, as Dan said last round, and thank you to everybody for tuning in, and thank you to everyone who's watching this at a later date. That's one of the cool things is you can watch it at a later date.
Yeah.
So
And the treehouse song got me thinking about a tree in front of the house where I grew up. So we'll do this one that's for my brother. Growing up, the two of us didn't always get along. In a place where we felt we never quite belonged. Rode our bikes, went on hikes everywhere in town. Quiet of the Berkshire Hills echoed all around. Full moon rising over empty fields. Tree trunks standing, lonesome and revealed. Pleasant smell of wood songs drifts upon the breeze, falling into autumn leaves. Off to New York City with people everywhere. New schools and new friends, smog heavy in the air. We teamed up to tell stories, your words, my photographs. Went to movies, jazz clubs, had ourselves some laughs. Full moon rising over empty fields. Tree trunks standing, lonesome and revealed. Pleasant smell of wood smoke drifts upon the breeze, falling into autumn leaves. College years, different towns, becoming better friends. Visit one another, the good times we had then. Years have passed, temples gray, still it brings me joy to think about when we were just little boys. The truth is I miss those bygone days. That big old maple tree, the leaves in which we played, snow forts in the winter, the world all seemed brand new. Most of all I miss spending time with you. Full moon rising over empty fields, tree trunks standing, lonesome and revealed. Pleasant smell of wood smoke drifts upon the breeze, falling into autumn leaves. Never in my life have I been so at ease as when we were young and falling into autumn leaves.
tree was monstrous.
We couldn't put our arms around it and touch on either side. It was hundreds of years old, big
Wow.
maple. And the last time we went by last summer, and it's no longer
Yeah,
there.
they cut it down. It's the house is now medical office.
It's been a medical office forever.
Yeah.
It was a house. The back part of the house that we lived in was built in 1734, and the front part in 1812. And it was the farmhouse for a huge chunk of land that had been all given, sold off.
It's now in the middle of town.
But that's where, when I was 6 years old, all those events. That's where we watched the Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walk on the moon too.
Yeah. Right,
After John.
John.
Yeah. Now we can't even go to Europe. Well, let's see. I'll finish up with this oldest song of mine. It's about one of my favorite things that, especially in the summertime, is to drive like late at night, like at midnight and 1 a.m. when it's nice and cool and you can hear the peepers and there's nobody on the road except for you and the deer. And I wrote this after I was driving to New Hampshire one summer night. Driving home late at night through little New England towns. Everyone's lights out, they're fast asleep. This town settled down. I dropped to third gear, I'm slowing down, though there's no one on the streets. The sign says 30, there's no cops around. This isn't this night's beat. I love the air late at night. The sound of quiet, the world seems alright. An old house with one light on, someone's peering through the door. Stands to watch me driving by, shuts the light and closes the door. I wonder what this person does and how he spends his days, where he works and who he loves. Does he ever pass my way? I love the air late at night. The sound of quiet, the world seems alright. The stars pass overhead, the moon sits on a hill. I pass people I don't know, I don't think ever will. It's quiet here, late at night, it's not like in the days. It's time to breathe and time to think, quiet time to pray. I love the air late at night. The sound of quiet and the world seems alright.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody.
I was singing the Betsy harmony.
You did the Betsy part. Thanks.
I'm sure Betsy was singing the Betsy harmony too, but
I could hear it in my head.
yeah.
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 I wish I didn't have to follow that. The perfect closer. It's like lulls us all to get ready for bed.
Yeah, except I have a meeting in 2 hours. So.
Wow, it's a late meeting.
Oh,
It's
people
with
in
India.
India.
So yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Well, can I sing to you guys about dad bods?
Oh, please do.
Sure.
Please do.
Take us home, and
Yeah.
we'll have everybody back on the screen
Oh,
after
yeah.
to say goodbye and all.
Great. Thanks so much, Dan and Faith and John. You guys are really talented, and I'm honored to get to hang out with you virtually. Hopefully, it'll be in real life one day. This is a song I wrote about how to turn on a woman. Oh, baby, last night was so good. You were amazing. I can still picture it all right now. The way you brought in the groceries, the way you took out the trash, the way you remembered to feed the cat. Then you unloaded the dishwasher. And when I got home from work, you had dinner on the table. I wanted you for dessert. Oh, I don't need a man with a face like bread, George Clooney's hair, or Channing Tatum's abs, sporting a Rolex and a Cadillac. I like it if you look like you would be a good dad. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. So hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. I like your dad bod. And oh, I can feel it. It's so hard and so smooth. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You finally sanded the table in the living room. Then I got hot and bothered when you answered my text right away. Then I got really tired and you said those magic words, okay, not today. Oh, I don't need a man with a face like bread, Zac Efron's hair, or Channing Tatum's abs, sporting a Rolex and a Cadillac. Yeah, I like it if you look like you would be a good dad. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. So hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. I like your dad bod, and I love how I don't have to babysit you at parties. Cause ladies, we all know that's the worst. They say nice guys finish last, and they're right. You always let me come first. Woo! I don't need a man with a face like bread, George Clooney's hair, or Channing Tatum's abs, sporting a Rolex and a Cadillac. I said I like it if you look like you would be a good dad. Sing it. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. So hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. I like your dad bod.
Love it.
I love that one.
And that's a great note to end on.
That was fun.
Always, hey, it's always good to end with a smile, and especially where we haven't had a lot of smiles of late.
Yeah.
So smiling's good. Anyway, so thank you, John. Thank you, Shanna. Thank you to everyone who's been listening in and everyone who will be listening in. Again, get your song prompts in the comments between now and 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. And I don't know if we have...
we have people lined up, but I don't remember who they are for next month.
Yep.
But we also have shows coming up next Wednesday, also at 7:30, but it'll be a 1-hour show with Tom Smith. Yep. And the Wednesday after that
is with Rick Polari.
Rick Polari from up in Vermont, doing a 1-hour with him. And
the Wednesday after that is going to be Aaron.
Right.
Yep.
Aaron Fowler from out in Wichita.
Yeah.
So
part of the fun of being able to work with people around the country online is you get to do in the rounds with people on the other side of the continent, which is, you know,
And
got
you
that with Shanna.
get to hear other people play and stuff, which is
Yeah.
just,
It's
we
the
love
best.
this format. So thank you all for joining us.
Not to
and,
mention the fact that this way you get to hear applause in between the songs.
yeah.
It's really depressing to just sing to the camera and hope that people are, you know, enjoying. So
Goes off in the ozone somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all.
Yep.
And this has been a fun night, and we'll catch up with everybody soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks, Dan. Thanks, Faith. Thanks, Shanna. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, John.
Anyway,
See you
take
all
care.
next